If you're a fan of MMORPGs, chances are you've heard or seen the game EverQuest. Known as one of the grandfathers of MMOs along with Ultima, EverQuest truly was a groundbreaking game. It wasn't until the Goliath that is World of Warcraft came and enveloped millions of gamers into its world that gamers forgot about EverQuest. Now that doesn't mean that EverQuest wasn't relevant. There were still diehard fans of the game that continued to play even till this day. It even spawned sequels and expansions. But it was until the next-gen era that developer Daybreak decided to reimagine the world of EverQuest and revive the series. And so in today's video, we'll be discussing EverQuest Next. Now, as stated previously, EverQuest Next was a planned MMORPG meant to be the successor to EverQuest, EverQuest Online Adventures, and EverQuest 2. The game was in development by Daybreak Games, but the project was terminated in 2016. The game was not planned to be a sequel or prequel to any of the games in the EverQuest series. It was just planned to present players with a parallel world of Norath, one of which some of the locations and characters may be familiar, but specific relationships and events were very different from what players knew. The developers intended the style of gameplay to be more like the old school EverQuest, while retaining the advances in MMO designs that have developed in the years since the game first launched. Now, Daybreak Games was using their game engine called ForgeLight for EverQuest Next, making this the second game to use this engine. Now, the ForgeLight engine focuses on lighting effects and game characters. This engine is being used for 8th generation consoles and has been discussed as amazingly intuitive. The game was to use voxel graphics and was to be completely destroyable and rebuildable, catering to the creator's needs. EverQuest Next and Landmark extended the use of the DirectX 11 based rendering engine and supported some features of the ForgeLight 2 engine, which is currently in development. Now, we were first indicated that a new game was in development in a chapter written by EverQuest creative director Rich Waters in the EverQuest 10th anniversary book in 2009. Now, at the Sony Online Entertainment Live 2012 event, John Smidley stated that EverQuest Next has been completely redeveloped, stating, "What we're building is something that we will be very proud to call EverQuest. It will be the largest sandbox-style MMO ever designed. We're remaking Norath unlike anything you've ever seen, but you will recognize it." Now, during the SOE Live, John Smedley also mentioned that EverQuest Next will attempt to keep the free-to-play model as long as possible. This means that once a player has purchased the game, they will not be required to pay a subscription fee in order to continue playing, which is pretty rare nowadays. Now, at PAX East 2013, game developer Dave Georgeson confirmed a full reveal of EverQuest Next. EverQuest Next was intended to be subdivided into two segments: a standard quest-based MMORPG and a world-building tool called Landmark. Applications for Landmark's beta testings have already been accepted at that time, and John Smedley had said that the best of Landmark's player-made worlds would have been bought into the actual MMORPG. Now, I remember the EverQuest developers even had a cool campaign asking longtime EverQuest players to submit their life-changing stories of how the game affected them. And I must say, some of them were quite amazing. From meeting life partners to sad stories of longtime friends passing away. It truly was remarkable to see some of these stories, which makes me think of how pissed some of these people must be to have never received this game. Now, it was at this time that developers announced EverQuest Next Landmark, which was to give players the same development and building tools that devs use to build their own structures and worlds. Now, on August 31st, 2014, EverQuest Next counterpart Landmark began its official alpha testing phase. The purchasers of the $100 Founders Pack or the $59.99 Explorers Pack were allowed into this alpha testing as part of the game's development goal of making development a collaborative process. It officially began this closed beta testing in March 26 of 2014. Now, in that same month, John Smedley confirmed that EverQuest Next would be coming to the PlayStation 4 console as well, which was quite interesting. Now, the following month on Reddit, John Smedley announced that the game would also support the Oculus Rift in some way, shape, or form, but he didn't go into specifics. A few months later, in August of that same year at the SOE Live, the EverQuest Next team revealed 3 new classes: the Tempest, the Cleric, and the Elementalist. Brand new combat videos also showing off how players would work together was also shown at this event. Now, if any of you were interested in the live stream, it was actually uploaded to YouTube. I'll put the link in the description below. The following year, in June of 2015, it was announced that Daybreak shifted the main development focus on the team from Landmark to EverQuest Next. This led many people to believe that something was going on behind closed doors. Now, the next year, on March 11th of 2016, Daybreak announced that development had been discontinued. Daybreak Games Company president Russell Shanks said, "As we put together the pieces, we found the game just wasn't fun." Now I tried to do some more research as to why exactly this game was cancelled other than what they said, but honestly all I could find was just statements of them saying that the game just wasn't fun. Now if any of you are curious at all as to just how EverQuest changed the MMO world, take a look at Varys' video on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description below. He has a very interesting perspective as how EverQuest started and how the players felt when the game first came out. It's really in-depth and very entertaining. I suggest all EverQuest fans go take a look at it. Now it was at this time that Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn came out, and I had an itch for more MMOs, and it would have been really interesting to have played this game as it was looking very good. But maybe the developers were just way in over their heads, so maybe it was for the best that this game never came out. But that's all my speculation. And that is what we know of EverQuest Next. Thank you guys for watching. Check out some of our other videos if you'd like. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, give us any suggestions for any future videos. And I'll catch you all next time.